Right, so just a pre-warning before you listen to this. This was actually recorded before I realised that due to reasons I cannot mention and that are out of my control, I could not get the other people that are mentioned on the actual recording. So yeah, it's just one person. So don't that's why it sounds like there should be more people, but there aren't. Right. Yeah, one of them is the one with George, and the other one is the one I sent you from the episode we did. Yes, I'm ready to do the clap sync.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Nice.
Right. Welcome to the Note in Silence podcast. I am here with. You gonna introduce yourself?
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
going to say you're here with Alex.
No,
And then I was.
no,
Then
yeah,
I was going to speak. But no, hello. Hello.
yeah. Right, so it's a pleasure to have you back. There will also be Will a bit later on, who is one of the new guests. Personally, Alex, I don't put you in with the guests because you're technically, as you've been in more episodes than everyone else.
I think I've only missed one, right?
Yeah, so I would say you're more of a co-host.
Yeah, well, I don't mind. We have very different tastes in music, and I don't mind chatting for an hour and so, so it doesn't bother me.
And it's always good to have variation and diversity of opinion.
Exactly, and especially because one of us is a musician and one of us clearly isn't, so.
Yeah,
I think that also helps the dynamic a lot. Helps the dynamic a lot better than just. Than what normal.
yeah. So
Anyway, so today it's exciting because I get to listen and critique your new album.
yeah, and I know you're a very harsh critic,
I am, but
but I have
I
to say
always
everything you
always try
say
and.
is always well deserved. Like
I mean,
I'm gonna be fair.
yeah, like there are some elements of your music that have got better. There are some that I still don't enjoy. You say it's the genre. I say I've never heard of that before. But hey, I don't judge you on that. But no. Anyway, I'll be the
Yeah.
judge of this album. I'm excited to do it. I will not hold back. Because you wouldn't want me to. But if I think a part of a track's good, then I'll say it.
Okay, right. So I'm going to start up the screen share now. Um, okay, it's gonna show a YouTube link to begin with, but then that'll change when I change tab.
Awesome, start sharing, mate.
Right, is that showing up?
Have a look. Yes it is. I just need to just sing doing stream. Yes.
Right. So as you can tell, you've already seen that one or heard that one and that one.
Yes.
And the rest of these are ones, like some of these not even the people on the podcast haven't heard,
Yes.
because some of these are old. Like these are ones that I've maybe like this one especially. I recorded this about a year ago.
Alright, awesome. So let's just
Right,
let's dive in.
right.
So that's Motorway. That's track 1. Wait, now I have to say, do you want positives first or negatives first?
Um, let's start with the improvements that you think.
Improvements. So I think you handled the track very well. I think I think you chose a very good beat for your style of performance there actually, and I think I really like the start of the song whenever you do that and you never even like over enunciate. That stuff's really good. When the first verse was a lot better than the second verse. I didn't like the second verse because it went in a bit hard, whereas I really liked the calmness of the story that you were trying to tell here. So I thought that was quite alright actually. Um, in terms of negatives, again, still that mumble rap rubbish that I just don't feel like you need to go start of every song. Because it doesn't add anything. It just makes you go, what the hell? Apart from that, though, really, I think the second verse was out of place. Some things, again, as I said, your enunciating has got better, but there's still some words I have no idea what the hell you're saying sometimes. But apart from that, man, Motorway, one of your better tunes I've heard actually. Um, yeah, let's just move on to number two, which I believe is that Boss.
Yeah. So, to give a bit of context for the first one. So the first one, what I'll do is I'll switch tabs and then it should be within. No, it's not. If I search, I should be able to find it down here. This is what it's based on.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you see like the sort of
Where
thing
the
from that?
inspiration comes from. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it was a mixture of that one and another one. But yeah, I think I sort of took the concept and just slightly downgraded it a bit.
Yeah, I think there's definitely similarities there. I think you've done well in that aspect. You know, obviously, no offense to you, but it's not as good as that song. But you know, again, look, I don't know how far that artist is into his career.
So, Shaka was one of the artists that was featured in the Sidemen Sunday where they were making a Christmas song.
Oh, is he the Merry Merry Christmas, dude?
So
Is he
that
the one with who's Shaka? Is he a beat maker?
no, he's a singer. He's got pretty much every song he's jumped on within the past 10 years has charted in some country.
Right.
So he's very, very popular. And realistically, I should have thought about that before making it, but after making it, I thought this was obviously good enough to feature on it. Right, so what I'll do is I'll give a bit of context to the second one now. So with this second one, I was listening to, like, this is where I went for a period while recording this where I was just listening to a lot of Rick Ross.
Yeah.
So
to preface this for viewers, I only woke up about half an hour ago, and it is 1:45.
Yeah. So with this style, you'll be able to tell there's a lot of it that's inspired by Rick Ross. A lot of it. Whether it's the style of flow I use or the way I go around the instrumental with the words and the placement of them. But this was also where I switched from using Adobe Audition to Ableton Live as well to record.
Okay. So, alright, let's give this one a listen.
Right.
I rather enjoyed that one, but I do have a few things. So again, the positives straight out of the way. The way you carried yourself on the track, so much better. You're much more aware of the instrumental now than you used to be. I feel like when you were an artist before, you used to just have an instrumental because you needed one, but you never really made the song, and you didn't really allow the instrumental to aid you. You just kind of had the music in the background rather than actually listen to the instrumental. Where can you take breaks and pauses and use that to your advantage?
Yeah.
I really like that. Some of the lyrics make absolutely no sense. Some of my goons now taking a shit in the back of a lorry. What?
I think that's out of. In fact, I'll just check because I've still got the lyrics saved for this one.
Shitting out of the back of a lorry? That doesn't make it any better. Why are they shitting outside of a lorry? Anyway, my mother said that I need to order some food. So do I order some KFC mid-pod?
You're ordering KFC mid-pod?
I am ordering KFC mid-pod.
Sounds good.
Obviously, I'll eat it away from the microphone once it arrives.
Yeah, so it's my goons are taking shit out of the back of a van.
Oh, I think they're taking a shit.
Nah.
I was about to say, why is that one of the lyrics?
To be fair, I think in that one, listening back to it, I can definitely tell I could have mixed that a bit better.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem. Especially the first bit, the mixing is dreadful at the start of the song.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's dreadful. Like the second chorus I could hear you. The first chorus I had no idea what the hell you were saying at all.
Like with obviously you've obviously heard the mixing of this one and this one, but then and that one the mixing could potentially be off as well. But with the rest of them, that was where I completed the mastering thing, the course type thing I was doing. So with the rest of them below a certain point, the mixing and the mastering should be a lot better.
Anyway, yeah, man. But again, the most important thing is your music craft. And obviously, I'm not the sort of person to go, oh look, I'm a musician. I know, but like, so you're definitely using the instrumentals a lot more. I think that works better.
Yeah, I found before I used to not write to the instrumental.
Yeah, that doesn't work as a musician.
So then now what I do is I give the instrumental a listen once, and then I'll just write something, and then normally the rest of it comes from that one bit that I write to begin with.
Comes naturally, yeah.
Yeah, I sort of do it in a way how Randolph does his verses.
Awesome stuff. Anyway, Blockstar. One I believe I've heard a little bit of. I didn't think I got all the way through. That's not because I didn't like it. Because obviously, this was the podcast when we were supposed to be making a song. I don't want to make a song. I've said many times on this podcast, I'm not a musician. So I decided, I think I did the first 2 lines of this song. And the rest is all you. So anyway, mate, take it away, Blockstar.
Right.
As long as I can see the improvement in every song, I'm going to be happy with the album.
Yeah, so this was recorded before Motorway, but no, this was recorded after Motorway, but before Boss.
Okay.
So it's probably gonna be better than Boss because this was done. This was the last thing I recorded on Audition, and by this point I'd roughly got to grips with how to mix on Audition.
Nice.
So this one hopefully should be somewhere in between these two.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Right.
Again, do you know what? I rather enjoyed that one. In parts. Again,
Yeah.
I think you did really well. I'm really enjoying the vibe of the album, but I think you need to drop the hard man act in some of these things. Like, Blockstar's really good when they're doing this, like, sway sort of nice vibe. Obviously, the lyrics you're saying still mean stuff, but when you suddenly go, yeah, fuck that bitch, and so obviously that's not the lyrics you're using, but when you, like, suddenly try and go all like that, it doesn't work because it's so different to the rest of the song. And also, I could tell the last verse is a bit choppy in the editing because it could just tell it's a bunch of different takes.
Yeah.
But apart from that, man, I really enjoy the vibe of this one. I like the lyrics; it makes sense, which most of your songs in my mind don't. So no, yeah, great. Another better tune from you. This is a lot better from like Into My Bank and stuff.
Yeah. So a bit of context to this one is, in this one it's meant to be almost like two characters.
Okay, well
so
then, if that is the case, it didn't come across very well.
Yeah, so it's almost meant to be like there's the side of me that's calm and logically thinking, and then there's the side of me that just wants to that's just on like the sort of angry side all the time.
Alright, let's go on to track 4. Take that time.
Right. So I would say this one was the most awkward while recording.
Oh wow.
Because this was the episode with Ellis, and now
is Ellis on the track?
No, he wrote the first. Well, he pretty much did the whole chorus.
Right, well then let's give this a listen.
And yeah, so it's based on very much based on the Juice WRLD song. It's very similar, a very similar style, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but compared to everything else, it's probably on a par with everything else, so I felt I almost had to put it in. Plus it got quite a good reception when my management heard it. Right, let's play it. Would you say you've heard enough of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it seems more of a sad track to me.
Yeah.
It's one of those which again it's gonna need on the album. But if I was certainly listening, it wouldn't be one that I'd pick. Not because of the writing, just because the other like Blockstar and stuff. Again, although they Motorway, they got like sad themes, like night not wanting to end, and it does end and stuff. But the beats are a lot better. I feel like this beat was quite basic actually. Which may have aided the lyrics. But I don't know. I think it doesn't really suit the rest of your style. But credit to Ellis for giving it a go at writing. I think the words are great. I just said that it all came together for me personally. But each their own opinion, right? So that's why opinions are great.
Yeah, I would definitely say if I make another version of this that releases a bit later, that won't be on it.
Okay. So you're not a fan either?
Not really, if I'm honest. It sounded good when I first made it, but now it really doesn't sound that good.
No. What is Everything I Own interlude?
So this is like a middle section. So um this is pretty much how, so the whole, like, this adds to the sort of concept of it.
Uh, right now we can. Want to move on to everything I own, the interlude? Hello.
Yeah. So a bit of context for this one. So this is like, so this fits into the whole story because this album's like based off a story in a way.
All right.
So it's based off a situation where at the start it's kind of good in a, like, seeming like it's heading towards a good path, but could be going downhill.
So it subverts your expectations.
Yeah. So in the second one, it's starting to get a little bit worse, but still has the possibility of going up. Track 3, starting to go down a bit more, bit less possibility of it getting a bit better. 4, it's where it's going down even more, and then 5 is where it's sort of, you realise that there's no way this is getting any better.
Crazy.
Right.
That was really fun. That was really fun. That was a good interlude.
Yeah. See, the reason it's an interlude is because, like, it's just not like a full thing. It's just something to break it up slightly, so it's not just the same thing the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's good. I enjoyed it though. The lyrics make sense.
Yeah, that's sort of why I put the one with George right underneath it, because they sort of both have, like, they're they're different, but they're different in a way where they'd suit it if they're together. And I'm guessing you, because you've already heard this one, you don't really need to listen to it again.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Right. This next one's where it gets a bit darker. So with the rest of them, it's like they've sort of been suggesting that things could go downhill. This is where it just dips.
It's all depressing shit.
Yeah. This is also exposing some of the things that I know as well, which is why I was actually debating not putting this on.
How do you pronounce that?
Population.
And what does that mean?
So it's meant to be. So it's. Do you know, like, in when a drill artist has an opposition, they call them an op.
Nope.
Yeah, so that they call their enemies ops, and I'm sort of suggesting that there's a lot of people who, like, in this sort of suggesting about how everyone who is not aware of sort of, like, it's hard to explain, but it's pretty much saying that most of the population are enemies of a few people.
Okay, well, let's give it a listen.
Yeah, it. To be fair, yeah, it's it's one of a kind. I'll say that.
I'll be the judge. I'll be the judge of that.
Right.
Wow.
You see what I mean when I say it's one of a kind.
It's certainly interesting. I mean, I don't really have anything to comment on that. You can tell that's a personal tune. Okay, yeah, I don't. I just kind of want to move on to talking about that one. About you and how you feel about stuff.
Yeah, that's well, for me personally, that's what I would call the biggest fuck you to every single mainstream major record label.
Yeah, I said so. I've got nothing to comment.
Yeah, right. So this next one's a bit strange because I can't actually remember recording it. With most of them, I can remember the rough sound of them. This is the exception. So this will be new for me as well.
And
Most likely though, it's going to be dark if it's placed around here. Right.
so when I had the start, I thought it was a bit shit.
Yeah.
But then the middle part got better. You could tell that it was coming from a deep place when writing this one. In terms of interest in lyrical style, I think you've definitely got better on the album than this song. I think Motorway and Blockstar still stand out as very good songs for your standards, anyway. Um, yeah, this is another one that, again, it's kind of like the millions of the dissimulation thing. Said that it's a track that obviously is important to the artist, but when we want to listen to it, it's not going to be the one we choose.
Yeah, this is like the definition of a drill song. So with the one with George, that's a drill beat, but the lyrics on it aren't drill. But this one's the definition of the drill song. Like with the way it's put together, and like just how I flow on it. That I would say it's a similar flow to the latest Tion Wayne song, but obviously it's
The only Tion Wayne song
different.
I know is Houdini.
Oh, so the songs literally got the least complicated name ever. It's the latest one that he's on called I Don't Know, or I Don't Know. And it what I'll do is I'll put on a bit now. I'll put it in a groovy bot. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah, I hear it. That's on.
yeah. Right, this is another one that I can't actually remember the recording, but it will probably be quite
Do you remember
dark.
Do you remember the last song by the chance? Or is this whole half of the album?
What I remember the last one. I think I do anyway. If it's what I think it is, then it's an instrumental that I sampled myself. If not, then it's probably another one. But I know one of these last two, I made the instrumental myself with samples. Right. Yep, this is one.
I'll be honest though and say I have no idea what the fuck that was.
That was neither do I really. I just sort of made a garage instrumental in Ableton and was like, right, I'm gonna do something over this because it sounds sick, and then so none of that was written down. That was all just like I just was there, then hit record, did all of that, and then obviously I didn't do the bits where it was all pitched down. that was where I said something and then actually pitched it down manually.
Fair enough, man. I mean, I respect it for you. My only critique of that is it doesn't really make for the best song.
Yeah, that, like, it's meant to be a sort of, I think it's sort of meant to be a bit experimental in a way.
Right, well, let's go on to the last song then.
Yeah, right. I have no idea what this one is, if I'm honest, because it was that long ago when I probably recorded this. But I'm sure I'll remember it as soon as I hear it.
Alright, I think I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I've got to say, I think the first half of the album is definitely the better half. I think deep down you know that as well, considering some of the songs on the back half you can't even remember, which sort of implies it's kind of left them.
No, I mean it's not the fact I can't remember them. It's the fact that they were either recorded so long ago that I can't. Well, that's either the reason, or the fact that a lot of the time when I record, I forget about it until I need to learn it for like performing or anything. So some of these are either so freshly recorded that I don't actually remember it because I'd completely forgotten about them, or they were recorded so long ago that the same things happened.
That's fair enough. Anyway, mate, don't get in conclusion until you go on to the next part, because I know you got another part of the podcast, however you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to come on. In conclusion, great album. I think the highlights for you guys who are listening: Motorway, Blockstar. Personally, everything I own, the interlude's pretty good, but it's not very long. Songs you should be interested in listening to.
Yeah, so that is also the name of the album as well.
Motorway.
No, if you look at the top of the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Recorded 10.
Yeah. I mean, there's the bit before it, but it's like.
2020.
Yeah, so in the whole of that, the only pitch correction I used was manual, and that was only to bring down or bring up to add like an extra sort of effect. It was nothing to do with making my voice better in any way.
I mean, that is fair enough. Anyway, mate, enjoy the rest of your show.
Right.
Pleasure to be back on again. See you soon.
It's been a pleasure to have you on. And yeah, I'll see you later.
See you later, dude. And that is the end of that.
Right.